We all know that movies are make-believe, and what a character portrays in the film isn't necessarily a reflection of who they are in real life. So just in case there's a movie villain you hate, watch this video to the end as I'll list 6 villains whose nice actors play. I'm sure you'll have a change of heart afterward. Coming at number 6 on the list is Anthony Hopkins as Hannibal Lecter. With less than 25 minutes of screen time, few villainous performances, or in fact movie characters overall, have made as strong an impact as Anthony Hopkins' portrayal of Hannibal Lecter in The Silence of the Lambs. He is a cold, cunning former psychiatrist who earned the moniker Hannibal the Cannibal by killing and eating several of his patients. FBI trainee Clarice Starling, played by Jodie Foster, recruits him to help her mimic the thoughts of another murderer still at large. Hopkins won an Oscar for Best Actor for his portrayal of Hannibal, who was the most memorable character even though he wasn't the story's main antagonist. Years later, he returned to the part in both the prequel Red Dragon and the sequel Hannibal. Hopkins has a talent for playing villains, and in addition to Hannibal, he has also portrayed antagonists in movies like Fracture and The Wolfman. Still, his reputation has shifted from threatening to cute in his later years. Now at number 5 is James Earl Jones as Darth Vader. Next on our list is not only one of the most popular villains in Star Wars, but he's also one of the most famous villains in the film, and it's none other than Darth Vader. The character became one of the most recognizable villains in movie history as soon as he appeared in the smoke-filled corridor of a captured rebel ship in the first Star Wars. Vader's mythological status could not be diminished, not even by a trilogy of prequel films focusing on the character's younger and, if we're honest, wiener years. He is so adored that he continues to show up in contemporary Star Wars films, most recently in Rogue One and the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, despite his passing in 1983's Return of the Jedi. And even though David Prowse's commanding physicality helped to establish Vader's credentials, James Earl Jones's commanding vocal performance helped to define him truly. Anyone who has appreciated Jones's incredibly moving performances as Mufasa in either version of The Lion King can attest to his legendary status as a voice actor, not to mention his decades of work on stage and in films. Though he gave the voice of such a terrifying Sith Lord as Vader, Jones did not have a natural talent for singing. He had a nearly crippling stammer as a child, which he could only get rid of after years of practice and dedication. Even the Stuttering Foundation gave him a prize for utilizing his story to motivate others. He is extremely philanthropic and has contributed to several organizations, including Make-A-Wish Foundation and Habitat for Humanity. Next at number 4 is Leonardo DiCaprio as Calvin Candy. Leonardo DiCaprio acted quite differently when he was initially casted as the showy enslaver Calvin Candy in Quentin Tarantino's Django Unchained. He had played many ethically dubious characters in movies like Gangs of New York and Catch Me If You Can, but this was his first time playing a villain outright, and he jumped at the opportunity with gusto. The lip-smacking, deliciously evil Candy merited every ounce of DiCaprio's dedication, even in a scene where the actor cut open his palm accidentally while staying in character while delivering a ferocious rant to the movie's protagonists. It's simple to overlook the charismatic leading man hiding behind this horrible performance with his disgusting teeth and repulsive personality. Fortunately for everyone, DiCaprio doesn't seem to look much like this character in real life. As everyone knows, he is a brilliant actor, but he is also a very awesome, down-to-earth person. Hence, it was a lovely experience, according to Margot Robbie, who collaborated closely with the actor in one of her first significant roles for The Wolf of Wall Street. He established the Leonardo DiCaprio Foundation, which, according to his website, is dedicated to the long-term health and well-being of all Earth's inhabitants. Due to his strong commitment to the battle against climate change, they collaborate with others to fund creative initiatives that help endangered ecosystems and communities recover their balance while saving vulnerable creatures from extinction. A worthy cause, don't you think? Now at number 3 is Meryl Streep as Miranda Priestley. At number 3 on our list is Meryl Streep, who may be one of the most well-liked and frequently honored actors in America, but that doesn't mean she always behaves nicely in her films. Her heartbreakingly contemptuous performance as Miranda Priestley, a formidable fashion magazine CEO in The Devil Wears Prada, is a prime example. In the Lauren Weisberger novel adaptation, Anne Hathaway plays a gullible journalism graduate who accepts a job with a ruthlessly demanding Priestley. She quickly learns that her new boss will ruin a person's career without hesitation, and that no order is too outrageous or a decision too cold-blooded. The ruthlessly patronizing Priestley rapidly won over fans and earned Streep yet another nomination for an Oscar. Oscar. Fortunately, Streep's persona in this film doesn't resemble her true person in real life. While the renowned actress remained in character for most of the shoot, Hathaway observed in an interview with Vanity Fair that overall, she's the most amazing, warm person. Even though Hathaway was not one of the studio's initial options, it was revealed in a retrospective of the movie for Entertainment Weekly that Streep pushed for her to be cast in the first place. On The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, Shailene Woodley, who co-starred with Streep in HBO's Big Little Lies, lauded the actress for her generosity and work ethic, saying, "She's so incredibly sweet and immediately disarms you with her generosity. You briefly lose sight of the fact that you are collaborating with a true expert." Next, at number 2 is Tom Hiddleston as Loki. The Marvel Cinematic Universe has always produced the most memorable villains, and when ranking them, Tom Hiddleston's Loki regularly shows up near the top of the list, and for this reason, he finds himself in the number 2 spot on our list. The character made his debut in the first Thor before moving on to become the Avengers' primary antagonist the following year. Since then, he has returned in 2 Thor sequels, made brief appearances in Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame, and is now the star of his Disney Plus series aptly titled Loki. The character has always maintained a wicked wit and a hazardous need for validation that have kept him a welcome presence in the long-running tale, even though more recent entries have transformed him into a more sympathetic anti-hero. The presence of Hiddleston, who is believed to be one of the most charmingly endearing people in the industry, may play a significant role in the character's attractiveness. Speaking of his time as a server, he said, and I quote, "People would be so extraordinarily rude that it made me decide that I would never be rude in my life, specifically to people who were kind enough to serve me things." According to The Telegraph, Hiddleston is impeccably well-mannered. He holds doors open, insists on paying for drinks, and gives much more time than he needs. Finally, number 1 is Kathy Bates as Annie Wilkes. Many unhealthy fandoms exist in today's online society, but Annie Wilkes from Stephen King's Misery might be the mother of them all, and that's why she lands the number 1 spot on our list. Annie is a former nurse who saves her favorite author James Caan from a car disaster in a blizzard, as hauntingly portrayed by Kathy Bates in Rob Reiner's version of the same name. When she learns that he intends to murder her favorite character, she rapidly realizes how intense her obsession is. She holds him captive and tortures him in her remote mountain cottage until he produces a new manuscript revives the character. Bates's performance turned her from being a likable character to a major cinematic star, earning her an Oscar for Best Actress. Bates's real-life persona is significantly less threatening despite the amplified nastiness of her acting. She acknowledges that their intense role even made her weep, as she revealed when speaking on the movie's 25th anniversary for NBC News. She said, and I quote, "I was crying to have that much aggression directed at you. I mean, she could be pretty scary. She is, however, a tiny mashed potato charmer in real life." She also praised Ryan Murphy, the creator of American Horror Story, who she believes helped her career by letting her have fun on the show. According to what she told The Independent, "This little kid inside me who loves to dress up and play pretend that I thought was done for just came to life again. I felt confident after that. I owe Ryan for that." As you can see, these villainous actors aren't bad at all in real life, as they were just doing their jobs. So do you know of any other movie villain who's cool in person? Tell us about them in the comment section. And if you enjoyed watching this video, please like and share it so your friends can watch it too. Kindly subscribe to our channel and tap the notification bell to keep getting more interesting content like this.